What is communication strategy? With communication strategy, the secret is to work out how your creative can get cut through by cutting into people's lives at the right moments. With communication strategy in advertising, you have a limited budget and you need to pick and choose your battles carefully, as someone is always going to have a bigger budget than you. As a communication strategist, you are responsible for how and where the creative idea turns up more effectively in front of your target audience. You need to choose the right moments to show up, and being creative with those moments is key. It's about taking the core idea and placing it in locations that complement the idea or oppose the space and concept. I'm going to show you an example of communication strategy using Absolut's Sex Responsibly, and how these chosen moments were responsible for making this campaign work harder and go further. Let's look at the case study first.
For far too long, perpetrators of sexual assault have used alcohol as an excuse or a tool to commit their crimes. As a child, I was assaulted by a drunk man, and the misuse of alcohol led to abuse in my first marriage.
Now let's review some of those media placements. When you see the media placements, you start seeing a pattern. You can't help but realize and notice that the core concept keeps coming to light no matter how and where it is placed. The singular idea is responsible for driving how and where the idea turns up. With Absolut's Shockingly Responsible platform, we see that the brand is addressing the cultural tension with drinking and being responsible. For this example, we are reviewing their Sex Responsibly campaign and the moments they've picked surrounding responsible drinking and sexual consent. Absolut has chosen one of the busiest and most intimate days of the year, where most people will be coming together and going out. National Restaurants Australia reports it as the second busiest day of the year. OpenTable reports it's the most popular reservation day of the year, with reservations soaring 500% on Valentine's Day. Their media has been placed in potential hotspots where people meet and come together, from Times Square to bars and restaurants to dating apps, but then also using other traditional awareness media to carry the message. From the creative, you can see Absolut is addressing sexual consent within the mindset of couples, whereby some people assume that intimate cues, gestures are consent for sex, when actually they're not. Alcohol often plays the role as being the irresponsible partner and alibi regarding consent. Absolut is making alcohol the responsible one to remind its drinking partners that only a yes is consent. Before we jump into a method of exploring these moments, there are 3 considerations that will impact your choices. 1, budget, 2, media booked in, and 3, supporting or opposing environments. Budget will play the biggest role with your consideration. Treat it as a rule to play within the game of creative placements. The more restrictive the budget, the harder the idea and the moment has to work. The budget is responsible for making the task of picking the moments easier by restricting your thinking and to make the necessary sacrifices with your strategy and the creative idea. The second is the media that's already booked in. Most people will see this as a roadblock for creativity. But again, you need to treat this as a rule to play within a game of creative placement. Restricted placements mean you need to choose which media is responsible for making the idea work harder, then using the allocated media and channel ratios to creatively target your audience. In the world of advertising, being different is what is needed to stand out. You can support your idea with similar environments that complement the idea, but you can equally get cut through using opposing environments that go against the creative idea. As a quick example, let's use one of the JBL noise cancelling print ads. Here we can see that JBL is surrounded by moments when sound impacts your mood. Environments that support the idea are noisy environments like Times Square, subways, airports, stadium, buses, high streets. But JBL could also be used in environments that oppose the idea, finding tranquil moments like partnering with Headspace or Calm. Now let's use the below framework as a tool for discovering these moments for your idea. We have the 3 core points that we use for exploring and discovering the right moment: timing, environment, mindset, and behaviors. This tends to be the cultural points to get the biggest impact with the idea. It could be a key date, a big occasion, or even the time our audience will be at a specific location using the product. This plays the biggest role for your creative idea when engaging with your audience. This is where the media is placed. It could be online or offline, but what truly makes an impact for your idea are placements that support or oppose the creative idea. Here we look at our target audience's current mindset and behaviors. What do they think? How do they feel? What are they doing? And how do they act and behave? We aim to look at one key motivator that supports our moments with the creative idea. Let's look at some examples. With Absolut, their shockingly responsible brand platform is about making alcohol responsible for its actions. Let's review their first campaign and how it's responsible for picking the right moments. The idea: to make alcohol act responsibly with consent, the message, only a yes to sex is a yes. The timings: Absolut has chosen Valentine's Day, the second busiest restaurant day of the year. The mindset and behavior: currently, people assume that intimate cues and gestures are consent for sex. Absolut wants to address this with their message that only a yes to sex is a yes. The environment: hotspots where people meet or come together. Times Square, bars and restaurants, dating apps, and social media. Other opportunities: there are other areas that the planner and creatives may have explored, such as taxis, hotels or the minibars, or B&Bs, confectionery partnerships, florists, cinemas, music playlists, or busy singles locations like concerts, clubs, and so on. Now let's review their second campaign to see how they pick the right moments again. The idea: to make alcohol act responsibly with voting. The message: vote first, drink second. Timing: election day in swing states, one of US's biggest events. The mindset and behavior was: currently people use election day as an opportunity to drink and celebrate. Absolut wants to address this with their message of vote first, drink second. The environment: a mixed approach using candidates' campaign media tactics and traditional drinks advertising channels, mobile campaign billboards, aeroplane banners, swing states out of home, water vending machines near polling stations, bars and pubs, mocktail promotions, and social media. Let's recap. Communication strategists are responsible for picking the right moments. These moments are responsible for choosing how and when your creative idea engages audiences. In short, these moments are responsible for driving the creative idea. There are 3 considerations before picking the right moment: the budget, the media that's been booked already, and the supporting or opposing environments. Using the moments frameworks, there are 3 key points to use: timings, environment, and mindset and behaviors. Picking the right moments are one of the many tools found within the communications planning module in the strategy finishing school. In the comms planning module, I take you through the basics to the intermediary to the advanced, including communications planning examples for RX Bar, Spotify Seamless, PlayStation, Bacardi, and more, how to build a robust consumer journey, how to articulate an idea and to get creative consistency, how to develop a campaign ecosystem to show the flow of your campaign, how to storify your idea and sell it into creatives, how to use a campaign blue mat to sell in more integrated work, and finally, access to the framework factory, your comms playbook with over 50 ready-made frameworks to save you time and articulate your idea and win more work. Let me know if you have any questions or recommendations for other brands that you would like to see next.